dope reaction for you. Well, today is a special reaction because EvanMCGaming has just given us a brand new video, Dream SMP, The Egg, which follows the Eggpire. This is another arc of the Dream SMP that I don't really know a lot about. I did react to not the Red Wedding, because that is Game of Thrones, the Red Banquet. I reacted to the Red Banquet, and that was amazing, but I don't want to get into it because I know they're to jump into it here. So I'm pretty stoked for this, and I hope you enjoy the reaction. But before we jump into it, please help support the channel by smashing that subscribe and like button. It's absolutely free, and it greatly helps out the channel. But enough talking, let's get to reacting and play that bomb-ass intro!
Hot sauce beats is finally here. Hot sauce beats is finally here. Eat, sleep, make beats. Eat, sleep, make beats.
Hot sauce beats! Woo-hoo! Here we go, let's get it going.
December 6th, 2020. A large obsidian wall surrounds the entirety of Lemanburg. Just 2 days had passed since Tubbo had exiled Tommy from the nation.
What up?
A day caught in the middle of peace and war. But what was a day in the heart of one story would be the beginning of another. As deep in the shadows, a new threat to the server had just started to grow.
And like, I don't know any of this, how it starts. So I'm in for a treat. It's Twist the Tom, baby! Woo! Let's go!
Bad stood in awe at what lied in front of him. He'd never seen anything like it before. A deep red encased the entirety of the strange object. Whatever it was, it made him feel different.
And something about the egg, which we found out when we reacted to Carl's The Masquerade, which it like travels back in time, right? I don't know when it takes place, but it's in the past. But we find out the egg is there even then. So the egg's been on the server for a hot minute. So let's see what happens, baby.
He thought about destroying the weird-looking plant, but immediately got a rush of fear at the thought of doing so. Confused and scared of his new discovery, Bad fled the room hoping to find someone else to show the mysterious object. As he returned to his and Skeppy's mansion, he found his friend and fellow member of the Badlands, Sam, who was beginning work on a prison nearby with Dream. Quickly, Bad explained the situation and led the two to the strange red egg.
Do you see that thing in the corner? What do you think it is?
I have no idea, but I do not like it. It just looks evil. I mean, it's like dark red.
I know, but there's something about it. It's just like...
It's almost like pretty, though.
It is pretty. Like, I was getting ready to mine like a chunk, and then, oh my goodness, again, that vibe coming off of it. What do you think it is?
Bad Boy Halo sounds like he's...
No! Don't break it!
Addicted to drugs or
I
something.
don't want it broken. I like it.
It does have like a very, very dark vibe, though. Like, does it kind of look like an egg to you, Dream?
It's kind of weird. I don't want to...
It's like an egg.
It's kind of creeping me out. You're telling me you didn't build this?
No, I found it. And it's mine now.
You
know what?
So
Actually,
proud.
when I originally found it, this
it.
was not here. These little tendril thingies.
It's expanding?
Yeah. That's kind of weird. It's mine.
So, just to catch you up, EvanMCGaming said literally the day that Tommy got exiled is the day that Bad Boy Halo just dug up the egg. So, I mean, this is literally the exact same day.
Uncomfortable.
What? What's uncomfortable about it?
This isn't supposed to happen in the game. I mean, like, I've never seen this thing before.
Get out. If you don't like it, I want you looking at it.
We might as well leave.
Yeah.
Bad Boy Halo's already addicted to this thing.
As the three left the room and made their way down Prime Path, Sam noticed something growing on the side of the socializing club.
Oh shit, it's
A
growing
deep
that
red vine
fast.
gripped the side of the building. Bad jumped with joy at the sight of the vine, while Sam and Dream questioned how it got there in the first place. At Bad's request, they decided to leave the vine alone and continue down the path.
Oh, hey, real
As
quick,
they
real
reached
quick.
back-
Before we really get into this, guys, make sure you help and support EvanMCGaming's channel. If you're not subscribed to him, or if you haven't watched this video, make sure you like it, subscribe to his channel. He put in over 150 hours making this video. Like a lot of these scenes that we're watching right here, physically EvanMCGaming created.
Bad's mansion, another red vine sprouted from the pond outside. This was not
Make sure you
a
support him.
coincidence. Just minutes ago, the group stood in that very spot and no vines covered the wall. But suddenly,
that thing's growing
out of
fast.
absolutely nowhere, they appeared. And Bad would not let anyone close to them. Having had enough of the new discovery and Bad's strange behavior, Dream and Sam decided to continue work on the prison.
These shots that he
But Bad
creates
couldn't
are
seem
just
to shake
insane.
his new friend. Slowly, the vines crept across the path outside the mansion and onto the other walls.
Oh, wow.
New growth was discovered on Tommy's tower, and throughout the rest of the day, Bad brought more and more people to see the mysterious egg. Most felt very uneasy in its presence, some even suggesting they tear it down. But others were drawn to it, unable to avert their gaze from its majestic red figure.
They got control.
Over the following days, new vines appeared and spread across the server. Nowhere was safe from the reach of the egg. Bad and Antfrost, seeking to please the egg, planted seeds all around the server, hoping to spread its influence as quickly as possible.
Oh, wow.
Before
See, I
long,
didn't even know they did
Bad
that.
and Ant had gotten Captain Puffy on their side, and together, the three vowed to protect the egg and continue to plant new vines around the SMP. However, nearly everyone else grew to dislike the red vines, which continued to spread like weeds across everyone's land. And on December 9th, Sapnap and Sam had had enough of the egg's relentless spread and decided to attack it.
Oh, yeah,
After making
let's
their way
go.
down Prime Path past the overgrowth of red vines, Sam and Sapnap entered the egg room. This time, the vines covered nearly a third of the room,
Jesus.
and standing at the center of it all was Bad, who seemed to be talking to the egg.
Yep,
Sam and
he's a little
Sapnap made their way
crazy.
closer, stating that the egg had done enough and it was time for it to be destroyed. But Bad could never let that happen. Before long,
I like that. When does a friends hanging out become a cult? I think here's your answer right here. If the leader of that friend starts talking to an object, it's a cult. This is now a cult.
Sapnap drew his sword and began to attack, driving Bad away from the egg just long enough for Sapnap to ignite TNT and...
Boom! Mic drop.
Sapnap had managed to crack it. Quickly, Sam and Sapnap fled the scene while Bad stared in shock at his beloved egg. This was too far. Later that day, Bad brought Puffy to the egg to show her what had happened. Since the explosion, the egg had healed, but it remained very angry at what Sapnap had done. And so,
angry.
Bad and Puffy knew they had to do something to protect it. And together, the two encased the egg in an obsidian shell with the hopes of it being safe forever. Before we dive even deeper into the story of the egg, I'd like to take a moment to thank the sponsor for today's video, Core. To say Core is a game is a massive understatement.
And I'll tell you
Core is
what.
an ever-expanding
Congrats on the
universe of tens
sponsor,
of thousands of
EvanMCGaming.
games, all
That's
packaged
awesome.
into one
Guys,
free platform.
Like I said, I'm so
Personally,
stoked
I've
for
been
this.
playing Island Alpha,
Because
which
this is
an
a-
open-world survival game, much like Minecraft, where you go
An
from
arc that I don't know
surviving
much
Minecraft
about.
to
Like I
hunting
said, I reacted to the
dinosaurs
Red
with a
Banquet.
katana, which I must say is
So
pretty fun.
I know
I
kind of how it
genuinely enjoy this
ends,
game,
but
and it only makes me
I don't know the
appreciate
beginning,
Core's
the
wide variety
middle.
of games even more.
I don't even
If you
know.
played a
I mean,
new
I know.
game every day, it
I
would
think
take
3
you over
people who
55
were
years to
controlled
play
by
all
the
of it.
egg.
And if you've ever wanted
But,
to make your own video game,
I tell you
Core
what,
provides
no one
simple
tells a
tools and the
story
Unreal Engine to
like
bring your
MC
vision to life
Gaming.
without
Seriously.
writing a single line of code.
Evan is
Also,
so
Core's
good at
partnered with
this.
Epic
And again,
Games and has
most
launched
of
an
these
early
scenes that we're
access
seeing in here,
exclusively in the
they're not
Epic
even
Games
from the
Store, giving
streams.
you
Like he
access to exclusive
recreated these
cosmetics you can
scenes.
download Core
Now,
with
some
your
you
Epic
can
Games
tell.
account.
The
And
stuff
if
that's
still
amazing
isn't enough,
quality
Core hosts
is a
countless
cinematic
events with
shot that he
cash
created.
prizes, including
God,
a
this is a
game
really
making
long ad.
competition From now until July 18th with over $100,000.
And then the ones that are like
And
a
in this
little
world,
less
just a few clicks
quality,
away.
those are the
So
streams.
check out the link in the
So
description.
far, I
to
think we've only
download
seen
Core
2
today.
or 3 stream
now,
shots.
Back to the
All
story.
right, we're back. We're back. Let's go.
Skeppy and Bad were best friends. Since Skeppy joined, the two had always stayed by each other's side. Through wars, conflicts, and explosions,
That's
their
another
friendship
character I need to
stood
react to.
unbroken next to the unending
I don't know
chaos
much about
around them.
Skeppy.
But something changed the day Bad found that egg. Skeppy found himself alone in the mansion built for two. And in the few times Bad did come by to see Skeppy, he only talked about the egg. How he was angry at Skeppy's wishes to break the vines at their house and how great of a friend it was. Skeppy felt Bad beginning to slip away. All the adventures they had, all the memories they made slipping from Bad's mind in favor of his new best friend.
I'm sorry. I don't know why,
Skeppy
but I
hated
find that so
the egg.
funny.
All he wanted was for Bad
Sorry,
to new. Skeppy felt Bad beginning to slip away. All the adventures they had, all the memories they made slipping from Bad's mind in favor of his new best friend. Skeppy hated the egg. All he wanted was for Bad to be there, but in its presence, it seemed even that was too much to ask.
Oh yeah, no,
And
he's
so,
a great
when he
narrator.
noticed Bad destroying the very vines that drove their friendship apart,
He's got a lot of
he began to
afflection
have
in his
hope
voice.
once again. Bad, Puffy, and Ant realized that since they covered the egg with obsidian, the vines ceased to grow and their obsession with the egg had began to fade away.
Oh really?
And as this obsession
'cause it's
faded,
sealed.
the three realized they didn't actually like the ugly vines and decided to destroy them.
I didn't even know
Skeppy
this.
suggested that they break the egg as well, but something inside the three still immediately opposed the idea. Instead, they all decided to visit the egg to try to understand what was happening. Skeppy had never actually seen the egg, so when he entered the room to a giant obsidian oval, he was a bit underwhelmed. Curious to see what this amazing egg was, Skeppy broke a single piece of obsidian to get a peek.
Oh god,
Immediately,
no.
his friends froze where they stood, silent. Looking at Skeppy, Bad told him that he needed to leave, as just him being there was a risk to the egg's safety. Skeppy was shocked. Just moments ago, his friends were back. But now,
Shouldn't have broke
it
that
seemed all
block,
progress
fam.
had been lost. Bad, Ant, and Puffy had forgotten why they covered the egg in obsidian and destroyed the shell, keeping it in.
Jesus.
Skeppy knew what he had to do. Hiding in a pocket in the vines, Skeppy convinced his friends that he was learning to love the egg. Excited about his efforts, the three decided it would be good for him to stay there for a while and left him alone. A few minutes later, Bad felt something off. Immediately, he led Puffy and Ant back to the egg to make sure nothing had happened to it. As they entered the room, the egg was once again covered in obsidian, and Skeppy was nowhere to be seen. Quickly, Bad realized that not only had Skeppy covered the egg once again, but trapped himself inside, alone
Wait,
with
what?
the very monster that consumed the rest of their minds.
What?
He knew they had to find a way to save Skeppy, but they also knew that destroying even a single block of obsidian would expose them all again. Bad
Skeppy put
reasoned that the
himself in
egg
there?
was poisoning their minds, and before they destroyed any obsidian, they needed to figure out what it was. As they
Fam, I didn't know this. I didn't know Skeppy. Why would he do that? So he could learn about it and become possessed? That's a bad idea. Guys, you want to know what a bad idea is? Trap yourself inside with an alien egg. And throughout all of history, around the world, any movie you've seen, and movies are real. So, have you ever known about a good alien egg? Think about it. It's never good. You blow it up. Skeppy. That just spells bad idea all over
removed
it.
vines around the server, Bad theorized that the people who liked the egg the most were those who spent the most time in the room with it. They all worried for Skeppy even more, as every second he spent down there was another part of him lost to the
I like
egg.
your idea, Burn
Sunset
Sage.
and night fell. Skeppy sat alone, trapped with the very evil he sought to destroy. The next morning, Bad logged on and rushed down to the egg. He planned to break just enough blocks for Skeppy to get out, immediately placing them back before being exposed again. And as he made his way to the room, he noticed that a few of the obsidian blocks surrounding the egg looked to be corroding. But there was no time to worry about that. He had to save Skeppy.
Wait, what?
And so, he got into position.
That's crime
Here we go,
obsidian,
Skeppy.
right?
Are you ready? I'm going, Skeppy. I'm going. Oh! Hurry, Skeppy. Come out, come out, come out, come out. Okay. Okay, good. Oh my goodness, good.
whoa,
Wait,
what?
what? Skeppy, what? What happened to you?
Hello.
Skeppy, are you feeling okay?
I feel amazing.
Oh,
Skeppy,
God.
you're red.
I feel great.
Are you sure? Hey, do you need some food?
No.
I mean, I'm glad you feel good, Skeppy, but why are you
Skeppy
red?
does not look good.
I spent my time with the egg.
You were blue yesterday, Skeppy, don't you remember?
I remember everything.
Wait, where are you going?
I want to go in the egg.
No, you don't need to go over here. Here, let's
Back
follow
up,
me,
Skeppy.
Skeppy. I'll take you somewhere else.
Skeppy,
Up
go get
to the
some fresh
surface,
air.
the sky. You like the sky, right?
The sky?
Yeah, the sky. You know the sky?
Get some fresh
Come on.
air, Skeppy.
Maybe if we get you some fresh air, that'll help.
Skeppy had changed. Bad's best friend, the Skeppy who stood by his side all that time, was gone. And in his place stood a shell of a person.
Yes, guys, drink less Kool-Aid. If you drink the Kool-Aid of a cult, you go from blue to red. Hence Skeppy. Again, this is real life. So never trap yourself inside an alien egg. Moral of the story.
Skeppy no
Hopefully
longer
we've all
cared
learned our
about
lesson.
anyone or anything except the egg. He tried everything to go back inside. No matter
What's
what Bad
crazy-
said or did, Skeppy didn't care.
Is
He moved
still
out of the
possessed,
mansion, the
even
very
with the egg
place that stood
cased
as a
in?
symbol of their friendship. Bad mourned the loss of his friend. He tried everything to turn him back to how he was before. But nothing seemed to
Messed
work.
up, bad boy Halo.
Puffy
It's your
suggested
fault.
taking one of his lives, but Bad refused. He could never hurt Skeppy. He would rather do anything. And not knowing what to do, he turned his efforts to the egg, the source of all their problems.
That don't sound like a good idea.
Following
That
the
don't
egg's
sound like a
display
good
of its
idea.
true power, everyone agreed to keep the egg quarantined to prevent any future incidents while they studied it. First, all discovered blood vines across
Even
the
this
server were
music he
cleared,
picked
except
is
for
good.
one on Punz's tower. This way, they could make sure the Obsidian still prevented the growth of the vines. Second, they needed to buy time as the layer of Obsidian surrounding the egg began to dissolve. To fix this problem, Bad and Ant surrounded the egg with a second layer of Obsidian to make sure there would not be any breaches. They also created a decontamination chamber at the entrance of the room as another precautionary measure.
Oh, wow.
Finally, because of the egg's strange effect on Skeppy, Bad and Ant decided to run an experiment by trapping different colored wool with the egg to see what would happen. As the days passed, the studying
turns red.
continued. The vine on Punz's tower ceased to grow, meaning the Obsidian was still working. The second layer of Obsidian also began to dissolve, and the wool experiment had some strange results. As the final test, Bad and Punz decided to tear down the Obsidian shell while wearing protective gear to keep themselves safe from the egg's influence. Once the Obsidian was gone, they noticed that the egg had grown much larger, having absorbed the first layer of Obsidian completely. This was concerning, but they figured the decontamination chamber would keep the egg out while also preventing the vines from growing. A few days later, Bad and Puffy returned to see that the vines had completely taken over the room.
Wow.
Vines reached down from the ceiling and flowers bloomed from the reddened ground. They started to like the look of the room, but then realizing they were being influenced
the Sauce
immediately,
Gang.
left. Skeppy had gotten worse. His red color became more intense and his love for the egg radiated with every word.
He's happy.
There was no turning him back.
Look at him.
Ant explained that the only way to save Skeppy was to take one of his lives to break his connection with the egg. But Bad once again refused to let anything happen to him. He stated he would rather—
Guys, it's crazy that, like, even though they're not necessarily controlled by the egg right now, the egg still has enough control over them to not let them get rid of it. Yeah, at least he's at least he's happy.
sacrifice everyone on the server than kill Skeppy. Ant questioned if Bad was infected as well due to his irrational thoughts, but Bad showed no physical signs of an infection. Days passed and not much progress was being made. The egg continued to push back on being contained. Skeppy remained infected and they still had no idea what the egg even was. And so, Ant, Bad, and Puffy agreed to hold a meeting on January 14th to discuss what to do about the egg.
Sir Billiam
January
III.
14th. The dust settled on a ruined L'Manberg. It had been barely a week since TNT rained from the skies
That
above.
was crazy.
And today, the fate of the egg would be decided. The four logged on, and one by one, they arrived at the table for the meeting.
I think we all know why we're here, don't we? As I'm sure you guys are aware of, the egg is becoming a problem. So I have a proposal for you two. Why don't you join the Badlands?
What does it offer us?
Everything. The Badlands currently is made up of myself, Ant Frost, Skeppy, and Awesome Dude. The reason why we created the Badlands faction was to protect ourselves from the chaos that was plaguing the Dream SMP. Look at where that's gotten us today, okay? I don't think it's gonna work with just us four. I think we need stronger people. But I don't think we should stop there. I think I have a long-term play. I think if we release the egg, let it wipe out all of this side of the Dream SMP, let it spread, let it wreak havoc across it, while we discover a counter to it, right? We can secure our hold on our territory, then come in, and once we've figured out a solution, clear the egg, clear the vines, get rid of it, and we can take over the...
Okay, let me bring you in. So, I don't know if you guys remember, maybe like 4 minutes ago when I said Skeppy had a really dumb idea of encasing it, but putting himself in there. That dumb idea has just been superseded by Bad Boy Halo. This is the dumbest idea I've ever heard. Now, guys, when I react to this and I say stuff like this, obviously I know Bad Boy Halo's doing this for lore and stuff like that, like it's all part of the story. I'm reacting to this dumb idea that his character is doing. I'm not saying Bad Boy Halo's dumb. I'm saying his character. Dumb idea. Terrible. This is like in a scary movie when that girl, like, what's that sound upstairs? After that scream, let me go check it out. Dumb idea. You turn and run. You don't unleash the egg. Terrible idea. Second dumbest idea I've heard today. Let's get back to it.
The entire Dream SMP. We can go from being just one territory to becoming an entire empire.
I think you turned into a tyrant, Bad.
I don't want to take over the whole server. I want all of us to take over the whole server. If we do this, Puffy, if we do this just right, we can come together, form a unified government where all of us have equal say, a round table, as it will, where we all have equal say over how we go about things. No,
I'll tell you what, this is such a dumb idea that I almost feel like Bad Boy Halo is actually still under control of the egg, and this is the egg, like, this is the way that the egg and Bad Boy Halo came up with the idea of, hey, let's trick them into saying we're gonna release the egg to destroy the server, but really we're just releasing the egg. I'm not so sure Bad Boy Halo isn't possessed right now.
None of this president's nonsense.
You know what? I don't know if this is the egg talking or myself, but I'm craving some chaos. This idea you have, it's speaking to me. I don't know, and I don't know if it's you or the egg or what's happening, but I kind of want to do it.
They all got hit in the head by some dumb.
Puffy?
Some dumb.
I'll help you with the egg because I feel as if there's no other way.
Jesus, where's the voice of reason here?
Choose a faction, as I feel like factions have got us to this point.
Frost. Come on.
This is what I'm thinking. We combine your territory with the Badlands territory. Puffy, Temp Alliance with your territory.
Sure.
And we can create the formation of our empire. What will we call our empire? I think our unifying principle right now is the egg.
Eggpire.
Eggpire! I like this!
Eggpire.
Then I hereby declare
The Eggpire. This is where it was born. Jesus, fam.
the formation of the temporary but hopefully permanent Eggpire.
Eggpire.
You guys ready to go release the egg?
The group made their way to the egg.
Thank
No
you,
longer would they
EvanMCGaming,
contain
for
the
making this
chaos.
video,
The
bro.
server would once again feel the wrath of the egg, and in the wake of its
Holy shit.
destruction, the Eggpire would rule everything. The decontamination chamber was destroyed, setting free the vines that engulfed the rest of the room. Bad, Ant, and Pun smiled as the plan began to move forward. They imagined the chaos that would unfold and were eager for the spreading to begin. Throughout the rest of the day, the members of the Eggpire planted seeds all across the server to help encourage even more growth.
Jesus.
Slowly, they all began to leave the server for the night. But Bad remained. His plan had been received much better than he initially thought, and its disguise had worked even better. As Bad made his way back to the round table, he realized there was no point in hiding it anymore. Propaganda coated the walls of every building. Vines spread like weeds as far as the eye could see. The chaos was beginning.
That was such a dumb idea that it was like too dumb to be true. Get out of here, bad boy. Hey, you ain't fooling me, fam. You ain't fooling me.
And with the spreading of their message, the Eggpire seek to recruit more allies to help them remain in control. First, Bad and Ant discussed getting Eret on their side because of the power and influence he held as king. Next, they needed to convince Sam to join the Eggpire in their quest for chaos. But this was much easier said than done. Since day one, Sam had a bitter hatred for the egg and would not take it well when he found out his equals in the Badlands went behind his back. And as they expected, Sam was furious at what they intended to do, refusing to join their cause. He had just locked Dream away in prison to stop chaos and was not about to join some cult to spread more. But Bad and Ant had a plan to make him like the egg. A few days later, Bad and Ant attempted to expose Tommy to the egg with the hopes of getting him on their side. Tommy, seeking to investigate the egg as a potential threat to the building of his hotel, asked Ant and Bad to lead the way. And as they approached the core, Tommy felt something strange. Tommy felt an uncontrollable urge to swear. Literally, that's it.
The egg is saying that all three of us should start swearing. The egg just told me to start swearing and that you need to swear next.
You gotta love Tommy.
Tommy didn't seem to be affected by the egg, and in the eyes of the Eggpire, that made him the most dangerous person to their cause.
Oh wow.
Bad and Ant quickly decided that they needed to get rid of Tommy as he was unable to be controlled by the egg.
I knew Tommy couldn't
Later
be
that day,
affected
the
by it.
Eggpire gathered for another meeting, this time to convince Sam permanently.
Already, have you guys seen what's happened? Okay? Dream is in jail. The server is devolving into chaos. Factions forming everywhere you look. This is a problem. We need a uniting force. We need something that everybody can agree is a bad thing to bring everybody together. People will think.
No, fam, hold on. He didn't do this to save Skeppy. Because I don't know if you caught it, but he was already possessed. So he was happy that Skeppy was possessed. Like it was all an act. It was a sham. It was a false. It was just all an act. Like he was possessed. So he was just trying to, Captain Puffy and Ant Frost, they were believing it. Yeah, Bad Boy Halo wasn't trying to save Skeppy. He was happy that Skeppy was possessed.
The egg is bad, but the egg is ultimately good. We all know that. Anyone who spent enough time with it comes to realize the egg is good.
The egg is so bad.
It's not. All right, hear me out. Here's the ultimate plan, okay? One by one, we bring people to the egg. Get them to come to our side. Get them to see things our way. Let the egg spread its influence. Let the vines cover the SMP. When the vines have officially and effectively covered everything, that is when we come out. That is when we resolve the problem. We come in, boom, you're heroes. And that's the point. It's just we're all gonna do it under the guidance and wisdom of the egg. You understand?
No, I don't understand.
Right? No, I don't. It sounds dumb.
I'm trying to get through.
I
loathe
really am. The egg. The egg is awful. I don't care what you say.
I know.
This is not a good thing. The Eggpire is not a good thing. This was a bad idea from the beginning. It's still a bad idea now.
Okay, so let me make this clear. You're in no circumstances willing to back down on this issue.
Much love.
No. We should not be doing this. We should be doing the opposite of this, actually.
Destroy the shit.
All right.
All right.
That's
All right.
fine.
That's
All right.
fine.
What?
You better run. Bad boy Halo ain't liking
Okay.
this.
Goodbye,
Oh
buddy.
God.
What? Bad!
Kill Puffy out.
Oh my God.
Puffy ran, shocked at what she had just witnessed and scared for her friend that now stood deep underground in the heart of the egg. Sam was trapped. Layers of obsidian stood between him and freedom. With every breath he took, the egg seeped deeper and deeper into his mind. It was enough to break even the strongest of wills. Sam stood at the mercy of the egg for the rest of the night, alone with its raw and ruthless power.
Is he gonna be bright red when
The
he gets
next morning,
released?
Puffy noticed Tommy on her way to break Sam out and informed him of what had happened. Quickly, the two made their way to the egg and Puffy broke a hole in the obsidian for Sam to escape through. Sam was destroyed. He was disoriented and traumatized from the torture the egg had caused him. He was starved, exhausted, and just wanted to go home.
So is
Tommy
Puffy
and Puffy,
not...
just wanting their friend to be okay, took him home so he could rest and
So chat, is Puffy not possessed right now? Cause she's acting normal. And I thought Ant and Puffy were also possessed.
recover from what happened that night. When Puffy got back, she thought about everything. She couldn't believe her friends would do such a thing. Bad and
about
Ant
to
had
answer my
changed
question?
beyond recognition. Ant's eyes now as red as the egg itself.
I can't tell you guys how many times this has happened in a reaction, like when I've stopped, asked a question, push play, and literally the question happens as I push play.
She knew that if someone didn't stand up to the Eggpire, they would overrun the entire server. And the friends she once knew would be gone forever.
Bro omelet, I like
Quickly,
that.
a plan began to form in her head, a resistance to the unrelenting tyranny of the Eggpire. Because she used to be one of them, she knew their true intentions and the ins and outs of their plan, making her the perfect leader of the resistance.
She's the
She
inside
just
woman.
needed more people. Knowing of the Eggpire's plan, Puffy also knew exactly who Bad and Ant planned to recruit next. And so, when she caught wind that Bad was bringing Technoblade to the egg, she knew this was the
can't
perfect
get
opportunity to
Technoblade?
get him on her side. Puffy watched from the
Technoblade is
shadows
his
as
own
Bad
thing.
and Techno made their way towards the egg. She waited patiently, carefully following their every word until Bad began to take things too far and she had to step in. Puffy explained Bad's true intentions, the Eggpire, their plans of unopposed control, everything. And Techno, knowing he could never side with an empire, sought to tear it down alongside the resistance.
Let's
Rambo
go!
also decided to join after almost getting trapped with the egg at the hands of Bad. This was a good start, but Puffy knew it would take more than 3 people to take down the Eggpire. But lucky for them, she had a few people in mind. Having recovered from his stay with the egg and fearing its effect on the security of the prison, Sam was not exactly a fan of the Eggpire.
Okay,
And so,
Sam's
when
back
Puffy
now.
informed him of what she was planning, he was more than happy to join the cause. In a land far away, rolling hills of sand painted the
We got
landscape as the
52
sun
people
beaded down
watching
on the dry
live!
ground.
Let's go!
Player stared. For months, his land lied untouched,
And if you guys are talking about eggs right now in the chat, don't get me wrong, I love bacon, but it's all about sausage and eggs. Yes, scrambled. Make a sandwich, maybe a breakfast burrito. Chop up the sausage. Put in some hot sauce. Some salsa. Love
an
me
oasis in the heart of the sea of sand. But that day, red vines spread like a disease across his
Wow.
creation. Foolish was
Wow.
confused. He'd never
I didn't
seen
know the
anything
vines
like
went
it.
all the way out there
He
in
removed the
Foolish's
vines,
build.
but a few days later, they returned. He began
Holy
to hear stories of
shiitake.
an egg, buried deep underneath the rest of the
Welcome to
server.
the Sauce Gang.
Stories of a mysterious power that controlled some and drove others to hatred. But whatever it was, he knew it needed to be stopped. And so, when opportunity knocked at his door, he answered. April 12th. A large explosion is heard across the server.
Hold on, before it jumps into this, what sounds like it's gonna be very important. Isn't Foolish, or is it Purpled? Who's Captain Puffy's sons? It's Dream, and it's either Foolish or Purpled. It's Purpled, ain't it? It's Purpled, right? Adopted or something? Foolish. Okay, it is Foolish, I knew it. So it's Foolish and Dream, right?
Server. Quackity flees the egg room as fast as he can. He prayed that his plan had worked. He
Quackity!
prayed that the TNT was enough. He was tired of this egg, its influence spreading like a weed across the server and no one there
Quackity's
to
so
stop
badass.
it. He knew that if no one else was going to do something, he would. He didn't have time to see the damage before his escape, as he was sure Bad and Puns were right on his trail. But he managed to get away. And even though the egg withstood the blast of TNT, his efforts caught the eyes of the resistance. Slowly but surely, the resistance was growing. They just needed an opportunity to strike, an opportunity to take down the Eggpire for good. March 1st. Word spreads across the server that Tommy is dead, murdered in prison at the hands of Dream.
Welcome to the Sauce Gang!
Everyone was devastated. Tommy, despite the chaos, was a friend to all. And it seemed a part of everyone died that day too.
So, right here, like, canonically, is when I just got into the Dream SMP. I literally just started reacting to them right when this happened. So, like, this is where I started kind of like semi-hearing about the egg, but mainly everything I was hearing about was about Tommy, Dream being in prison. So like I said, I literally just caught the very ass end of the Eggpire. So this is awesome to get caught up and
Everyone
finally know what
except
happened.
the Eggpire. Tommy's death was exactly what they needed. Tommy was immune to the influence of the egg, meaning he could not be controlled, making him the biggest threat to their plan. But now that he was finally gone, their plan could move into its final stages.
Oh, can it?
First, Bad and Ant managed to trap a new player, Hannah, in the obsidian cage above the egg. They hoped that in her time with the egg, she would learn to love it. And once she did, they knew exactly how she could help. Following the massive explosion set off by Quackity, the room was in shambles, but the egg still stood. Bad and Puns made sure everything was okay, and blocked off the room to prevent any threats from entering while the egg was healing.
Jesus.
This also allowed for concealment while they planned their final move. An event months in the making, the true beginning of the reign of the Eggpire, the Red Banquet. In order for their true plan to work, they needed a lot of people as close to the egg as possible. And because their reputation among the rest of the server was not that great, they knew that before they hosted an event as elaborate as the Banquet, they needed to convince people this wasn't just another scheme. And so, it was decided. The Red Banquet would be staged as an apology for the harm the Eggpire had caused and a vow of their goodwill to the rest of the server. But to truly sell the idea, drastic action needed to be taken, and Bad had the perfect plan. Over the next few days, the Eggpire removed every single vine that had grown across the server. Every trace of their mission to spread the egg gone overnight. Invitations made their way to the farthest corners of the SMP. People finally started to believe they had changed. And the removal of the vines made people just comfortable enough to attend the banquet. And as Bad made his way down the now completely cleared path and into the banquet hall, he went through the plan one last time in his head.
Welcome to the Sauce Gang!
But then he noticed something out of the corner of his eye. His old friend, driven away those months ago by the very thing he worshipped. The only thing Bad still cared about more than the egg, Skeppy. But he wasn't Skeppy anymore.
Wait, what? What is that? Skeppy, what are you doing? Skeppy, why are you over here?
I want to be next to the egg. You can excuse yourself. I've given you enough time. What do you want?
I care about you, Skeppy, and I mean, look, we both know there's nothing wrong with the egg, and the egg's great and all, but you don't have to be buddied up with it.
You don't gotta sleep on top of it.
Oh my goodness. Let's go for a walk. Do you want to go for a walk? Do you want to see the sunlight? You like sunlight?
Nothing here is new to me. I've seen all of this a million times over. Nothing you say will convince me. Is there anything else I can do for you?
Hey, Skeppy, look, it's the statue I built of you, remember?
Relationship is in
take for you to
shambles.
stop talking to me?
I'll just go and do the preparations myself.
Okay, don't come back.
You're really getting on my nerves, Skeppy.
What? Why do you keep coming back?
Skeppy, I don't like your behavior lately has been...
My behavior?
Skeppy,
you have absolutely no control over
not about
any part
power.
of me, and everything you say is irrelevant.
Oh my goodness. It's not about power. It's not about control. I'm your friend, Skeppy.
I mean, you can think that.
What do you mean?
Oh, that's
You can think
effed up.
whatever you want in your silly little mind, okay?
No,
It doesn't matter to me.
No, we're friends, right?
Sure. Just leave me alone.
Skeppy,
Wow.
I have done so much
Freudian
for you,
slip.
for,
You were
for
right,
our
Bernstein.
friendship, and now you're trying to tell me that we're not friends anymore?
I'm not saying it, I'm proving it.
You're proving it. I literally...
Hey,
No, I've had
You
enough.
have used
your
and abused me,
attitude,
and you keep
I've used and
hitting
abused
me,
you,
and you
your
continue to
attitude.
do so.
No,
Because
tell
we're
me
gonna go
I am your
back and
friend.
forth. Yeah,
Tell me.
My best friend hits me.
Do you know the sacrifices that I have made to hang out with you? And you'd rather
you've made
stand
any sort of contribution.
No,
you think you've done anything?
I
You
d-
seriously think that? The past doesn't matter. It's only about the future and the present. And right now, I know what I
Cosmo!
want. I want to go
Cosmic!
to the egg. So
Welcome
I'm
to
gonna
Sus
go.
Gang.
No, you're not going to the egg.
Smack
I don't
him!
want you to stand by that egg all
Why?
day. That's,
Are you gonna hit me again?
I'm not gonna
Are
let you
gonna-
go to
Hit
it.
him!
Are you gonna hit
Hit
me?
him!
I just wanted us to hang out like we used to. Like I did all this for you, and I just didn't want the egg to take that away.
Well,
You
it
hear
did.
how selfish that is. You were trying
Se-
to take away what I enjoy and what I like for your
Selfish?
own benefit.
Did you
realize
actually
how
call that
selfish that is of you? You don't actually care about
selfish?
me. Stop
Are
hitting
you?
me.
You
How many more
actually
times
called
are
that
you gonna hit me?
selfish? Take that back right now.
They
Apologize.
were all selfish, and they were
They're-
only for your own benefit.
It's standing in
Just
lava?
a stupid
It's
egg,
not a
Skeppy.
stupid egg.
No,
there we
Skeppy, no!
Bad stood in shock at what he did, destroyed by the tragedy he just caused.
Oh, shit! Wow! What? Because, yeah, I saw, like, from that angle, it looked like he was standing in lava. I'm like, what the hell's going... He was not standing in lava. Man, that is some domestic abuse shit right there. You know when they get in that argument and they're like, they smack them and then they like fall. It's in the movies, right? And they fall and they hit their head on the corner and they die. And they're like, oh God, I can't call the cops. I killed them. That is literally what Bad Boy Halo's thinking right now. He's like, oh God, what'd I do?
He remembered what Ant said about killing Skeppy and prayed with everything he had that maybe,
Bad cried?
just
Wow.
maybe, his friend could come back.
Was that oh yeah,
April
oh my God, I didn't even think of that. Was that a canonic life? A canon life? Chat. Was that a canon life?
23rd,
I didn't even think of that.
2 days before the Red Banquet. The Resistance stands atop a cloud in the sky built by Foolish to discuss their plan of action. Sam informs the group that he managed to recruit Hannah after finding her passed out.
Whoa. What do you mean they share canon lives? Skeppy and Bad Boy Halo have the same canon lives? So if one loses one, they both lose one? Is that what you're... What? Why? Are they like identical to... So canonically, why do they share lives? Like in their lore, why do they share lives? What does the egg want? Everything. All of the things.
Out in the obsidian chamber above the egg. The group was happy to welcome another member to their side and moved forward with their plan. The Eggpire had been very selective about who they sent invites to, making sure to leave out major threats such as Quackity, who nearly killed the egg, Technoblade, who clearly had no intentions of siding with them and was very powerful, and Rambu, who was caught spying on the egg with Tubbo a few days earlier.
Release the winners!
However, everyone who did get an invite decided it would be best to go to the banquet to get information and to seek an opportunity to attack. That being said, everyone was very wary of the Eggpire's intentions, as they knew there was a strong chance this banquet would end with blood. And so, they needed a backup plan. Knowing that they would not be able to sneak armor and weapons into the celebration as they were strictly prohibited, Sam suggested planting a supply chest in the center of the room in case things went downhill.
Toby, I appreciate
The group agreed, and Puffy volunteered to hide the chest as she knew the room the best. Sam also informed the group that he had another plan he had been preparing. A plan that could destroy the egg for good.
Tell us, Sam!
Finally, Quackity mentioned a secret contact he'd been talking to. a warrior, long dormant on the server who was happy to join the fight if things got out of control.
Purple,
And
right?
with this, the group went their separate ways, satisfied with their plans and confident that worst comes to worst, they would be ready for war. The sun cast a red shadow over the SMP as it climbed above the horizon. Deep underground, in the heart of a once innocent land, hung decorations fit for the greatest of kings. Red vines reached for the ground. Chandeliers brought light to the living walls, and at the center of it all lied a table waiting to be set for the feast.
Really cool
The
room.
Eggpire stood in the ruins of their meeting room far above the egg, in silence. No words needed to be said.
Really
The
pretty.
plan had been trapped in their heads for weeks on end, and everyone knew what needed to be done. Joining them was Ponk, who had always liked the egg, but after a bit of convincing took a greater liking to their plan. But one seat lied empty, as their newest member was attending to her own part of the plan. The clock continued to tick until it was time. And as the first guests began to log on, everyone made their way to the banquet hall.
Survival. Really loud. Hold on, let me turn it down just for a second. Or like Hermitcraft, the stuff they build, I can't even fathom. Just the mining alone to build this stuff. Yeah, look at Eric. Look at Eric. Jesus. The dude is on another level. God, fam, I had such a blast reacting to the Red Banquet. This is on another level. Because they're fancy. It's a dinner. So fancy. Really bougie. Alright. Alright, we back, fam. We back.
I really appreciate you all coming again. I think this is the perfect opportunity for us as a
Such good
server,
music,
as a
too.
community to come
Just
together.
sets the vibe.
And honestly, just to let bygones be bygones, to let any past issues, to set them aside so that we can grow and advance from this point forward. Because
Such
while there
a
have
liar.
been bumps
And a
along the way,
murderer.
in the spirit of moving things forward, I would just like to say that I was very, very happy that we were able to gather everybody here together for what is,
Look at
I'm
the lava.
sure, going
Look
to
at the
be
lava dropping.
a banquet that none of us are ever going to forget. And yeah, thank you for coming, everybody. And
Thank you.
prepare to die.
Lava fell from the ceiling, blocking all escapes from the room everywhere except the egg. Months of planning led to this moment, the final sacrifice. Puffy and the rest of the resistance were furious. They trusted their friends one last time and they still betrayed them. They hoped it wouldn't come to this, but the Eggpire had to go. Puffy made her way to the center of the table to the hidden chest of supplies. Finally, the Eggpire would answer for their crimes. But then,
What?
Yes.
What? Oh. What? Were you
Where's the stuff?
looking for
Where-
this, perchance?
There's no way.
What?
You sneaky devil, you! You sneaky devil!
You told them, Hannah?
Why? The egg.
Hannah heard everything. Every step of their plan, every precaution they planned to take, everything.
I forgot about that part.
Ever since her stay with the egg, she was consumed by its transcendent power. And Bad knew that as a new player to the server, she would be the perfect spy. The resistance was
I
powerless.
forgot
In
about
the face
Hannah
of
Rose
fear,
being a
they had
spy.
unknowingly supplied the Eggpire with the very weapons that would cause their demise. But Sam still had one last plan.
That is tragic that you told them about our plans for the armor, but something you should know. I had another plan because I didn't trust you.
Angel, welcome to the Sauce
What do you
Gang.
mean? Another plan?
Welcome.
Well, I think that we all can agree this has gone on long enough now. I'm tired of all this fighting, so I say we just blow the egg up. for good this time.
What?
With an amount of TNT that it cannot survive.
But
So
you
I
don't
hit a
have
trap.
any. Wait.
No! No!
No!
The suit.
What?
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 You really
What is
thought you
What?
could defeat the egg with TNT? After Quackity tried that, we took proper preparations and we made it so that we didn't have to worry about TNT anymore.
Hey, peace out,
Now,
Supreme.
if you would all kindly please make your way over here, we can begin the summary executions.
What? The what?
The what?
Execution?
No.
Come on.
What?
You see, the egg needs something, and it's gonna get it from each of you. See, in order for the egg to hatch, it
See, hey, okay, so when I reacted to the red banquet, or maybe did I notice it over there? So is that purpled up there right now? Because I think on the other wall, I remembered seeing purple. Oh, so that's Rambo. When I reacted to the red banquet, I never noticed this, but I noticed on the other wall, up over here, I think purpled's over there.
needs energy, and it gets that energy by people dying near it. And that's the role that you guys are gonna fill. We're gonna kill you one by one.
Yeah,
What did you say, Eric?
You're an absolute monster.
monster.
A monster. You
You're
know what?
an absolute monster.
I think, Eric, you would be a perfect person to sacrifice first. Excellent. I really appreciate
Excellent.
you guys following the directive
Excellent.
and not bringing any weapons. That's very courteous of
Excellent.
you.
Get
We
out of here.
trusted you, babe! We trusted you!
Well, that was your first mistake. What you think we were really going to just stop trying to spread the egg's influence over the server just because a couple people got mad at the vines? Like, come on. That's been the
Excellent.
objective all along, is to hatch the egg. The egg wants power and it's gonna get it.
All right, stop. I have had enough. I am sick of this foul red stench.
Yeah, no. I'm telling you, I don't remember which POV I reacted to, but up on this wall, up here to the left, purpled was standing up there.
am
100%.
tired of this endless cycle of egg nonsense. We tried to give this dreadful egg another chance.
Yeah, I think
Man,
we
why
have.
don't we start with foolish instead?
We'll save the monarchy for later. Don't think we've forgotten about you, Aaron. But we can start with foolish.
You two bad, and this is your last chance with me. Your
what-
very last chance. I am done
Bad
after
boy,
this.
you're being a muffin
What are you
head.
gonna do? You're weak. You have nothing. Buffy, you were a part of the Eggpire. You could have prevented.
And look what you all turned into! I did what I needed to make sure that everyone else was protected. Because all you and Bad care about is the egg and yourselves. You're selfish.
Puffy, you could have stopped this if you had stayed with the Eggpire, but this is your fault.
What? No! No!
Just
One
killed her son.
Down. And a couple
Gone.
more people to go. Who should we do next? What do you think?
Bad!
Ooh, I
Stop!
like that.
What? Stop what you're doing right now. Stop. Stop it. Hey, relax. Relax, Bad.
Quackity! I
know what you're
calm.
doing here, but stop right now. Stop right now. Look at what you've done here, Bad. This is impressive. I'm not gonna lie. This is quite impressive, everything you've done here. You have to stop right now, Bad. You have to stop.
Stop?
This
Like,
whole
how can
egg
you
thing is
not
just
like
getting out of
Quackity?
control. You just killed a man. Is that what you wanted to do, Bad? Is that was that your plan all along? To kill innocent people? This has gone completely out of control, and I'm not gonna have it anymore, Bad. Look what you've done. Just look what you've done. You've
World's
trapped
worst
all
part.
these people, all these innocent people, in what you've disguised as a party. I'm telling you, Bad, you're a pawn to power. You're nobody, Bad. You're working for something that, quite frankly, doesn't even care about you. I mean, look at the egg. Look at the egg. Look at what it means. It doesn't mean anything. How about we just stop playing games, Bad? How about that?
I can't stop Quackity, and you know why I can't stop.
You're not like this.
Yes, I am.
So how about
Welcome to the
we do
Sus
one more
Gang.
time? You and all your buddies here, drop your weapons and leave, and let all these people go.
No, you drop your weapons.
No, you drop your
and
weapon.
You prepare. If you wanted
You drop it.
to
No,
stop
you
us,
drop it.
you should have brought an army with you.
Oh, Oh, but he did.
I did. In fact, I brought the next best thing. I brought my biggest enemy.
All right, Quackity, where's this egg thing?
Right here. Right here, Techno.
And look at
Get
all
back,
the
get back,
dogs.
Hannah. Come on. Let's go. Get back. Welcome him, Bad. Welcome him, Bad. Purple. Yeah, yes. Purple, Bad.
Techno, you and Quackity are enemies. Why would you side
Listen.
with him?
Listen, Bad, I didn't want to work with this guy either, but this egg, it's going too far. It's warping people's minds. It's controlling them. It has no plans on stopping. And this egg, it's the epitome of everything I stand against as an anarchist. And if I don't stop it now,
government.
it'll be the end of the world. So yeah, I'm working with Quackity.
We still outnumber you.
Right?
It's 4 against 3.
Puffy saw an opportunity, a moment of weakness, the very thing she'd waited for since the start of the resistance, and having had enough of the friends she thought she had, she took it.
Ampharos, you're dead!
Wait, what?
What? What? Puffy, stop!
Where did Puffy get away with it?
You've taken my kindness
Stop!
and weakness, Ampharos!
Everyone go! Let's
Attack
go!
them! Kill them!
Attack! Let's go! Let's go!
It's not
Let's go!
gonna end here, Quackity!
You Bad, I've always told you, I've told you for so long, this stupid egg thing is just bringing trouble, nothing but trouble, Bad. Let's go!
Retreat,
Let's
guys!
go!
Retreat!
As the Eggpire retreated into the labyrinth of tunnels surrounding the room, the people stood frozen, shocked at the events they had just witnessed, the murder of their friend. Quackity stood atop the egg. No matter what happened, the Eggpire was reduced to nothing, and their
this is
crown jewel
amazing!
now lied in the hands of the resistance. Quackity led the people to the surface, freeing them from the evil grasp of the egg. Over the next month, the server would attempt to recover from that day. Sam and Quackity sealed off the egg, quarantining it once again. Bad and Ant felt a weight lifting from their shoulders as their
And here's something that they're probably not gonna, or maybe they will put in it, but when I reacted to the Red Banquet, like after that little war happened, Sam's like, I could put it in the prison. Like, bro, not everything needs to go in the prison, fam.
color returned to normal and their
Put it in the
love for the
prison!
egg diminished.
Put
The
it in a
resistance
cell!
went their separate ways,
Bad
vowing
egg!
to return the day the egg was released again. And the egg remained locked away. A mere memory of a time, a dark time the server never wished to see again. And with peace finally ruling over the land, the egg, it seemed, would have to hatch another day.
Hatch another Evan. Hatch another day. Yes! Oh my god, this was so good. All right, guys. Hey! If you guys have made it this far, thank you so much for joining me on this reaction. Like I said, EvanMCGaming is literally one of the best storytellers. The amount of work that he puts into these videos is insane. A lot of people, you know, whether they upload VODs or do whatever, a lot of these, he made cinematic shots for this, like rebuilt it, recreated it. This is amazing. And I am so glad he did this because, again, I only knew the Red Banquet. I didn't know anything before that. So it's nice to finally have that history of this story. But this was amazing. I love it when EvanMCGaming comes out with these videos. He does such a good job, and he's literally a master at his craft. So thank you so much, Evan. Guys, if you have not yet, go to Evan's channel, hit that subscribe button, watch this video, like it. Also, please like my video. It helps out a lot. I hope you guys enjoyed this reaction, and if you did, please help support the channel by smashing that subscribe and like button. It's absolutely free, and it greatly helps out the channel. Enjoy the rest of your day, and remember, it's eat, sleep, and make beats. And as usual, be kind to one another, and that's all I got. Boom! I'm out! I forgot to... gotta love the Sauce Gang! Peace! This is what happens when I don't edit videos. I mess up a lot. Love you guys!